Okay, we should be recording already. Hello, everyone. Today is June the 14th, and that's the official community meeting for Project Harbor. As such, please follow the code of conduct and just be nice to each other. With that, we can kick off. I'm going to share the meeting minutes link into the chat. So if someone feels like adding yourself there or adding your topics, feel free to do so. I'm going to share that thing so we can see what we have for today. I see some folks added themselves, new names, I see. So let's start with the updates and then we can switch to discussion. And then in the end, if someone feels adventurous, can you introduce yourself to the call. So Thomas, do we have Thomas in the call? Yes.
Yes. Hi.
Hi. Do you want me to stop sharing or you just want to go over the last meetup that we had?
Sorry, what do you ask me?
Yeah, you've added in the updates part the harbor operator community meeting that we had. So I suppose you want to discuss something there, or
I didn't put it here, but
I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, our last meeting was two weeks ago. So many things happened since then. So
yeah.
I suppose then in that case I added this one. Yeah. Just to remind you, everyone, that we have the community meetings for the harbor operator already going. So if you feel like joining it, and you can check the recordings from this one. If you're interested, what kind of effort we do there and what kind of discussions we have. We also have community meetings notes for the harbor operator itself, the same format as we have right now in this one. So you can check them as well. I'm sorry, Thomas. Sorry, it was like two weeks ago.
No problem.
Since I added this one, so I should be adding my name when I add topics for discussion, not your name. Yeah. Hey, my camera is off. Alrighty. So, wait, I'm sure the next one. I'm not sure if I added it, but about the logging. Anyone wants to take this one? I think we added this one because we had it in the in the roadmap, and it was like for the upcoming release. And there was some questions around this one. Anyone from the maintainers can comment to this one? Did you manage to take a look at this one? It's a long one, so if there's nobody who can comment to this one or wanna comment to this one, we can switch to the next one.
So is it possible for that we can have a proposal for this? I mean, it seems like we introduced a new feature, and so
I'm not sure I understand. Can you rephrase, please?
I mean that do we need a feature proposal for the JSON logger? It seems like it is a new feature for Harbor, so we yeah. So I feel like that we should have a proposal for this.
It fixes an issue, but introduces a new set of features.
Yeah. So
yeah. Okay. So who's that? Sebastian Guo. Okay. Either me or you will drop a message. Let's see. Tracking. Yeah. yeah, we exchanged some stuff, but yeah, there's no formal proposal for this one. But Jan, if you think that that thing introduces too much changes,
Yes.
then we should go with proposal.
Yes.
Otherwise, if it's some minor changes, but the amount of code that is changed, I suppose it's not just a simple thing. All right. I won't close that thing, and we'll address that to the author of that PR, so we can have it. All right. Thank you everyone for adding yourselves there. Stefan, I see you added something, but where is it?
Sorry, it should be under discussion topics. Yes, the last one.
Oh, okay. But let's first go one by one.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Sure.
Just
right.
have to refresh the page.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. So Andrea, proposal issue draft. Do you want to take over and share that with us, or should I?
Hi. Yeah,
Hi.
sure. I can share. Yeah.
Sure thing.
Okay.
Stop sharing.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. Thanks everyone for having me. So my name is Andrea Frittoli. I'm the co-founder and maintainer of a project called CD Events. That's a project hosted by the Continuous Delivery Foundation, which is a sister foundation to the CNCF. And yeah, so I noticed that back in Amsterdam, Harbor announced cloud event support. And I thought that's a great feature to have for a registry. And it resonates with me because in CD events, what we are trying to do is to bring interoperability in the continuous delivery space, or software lifecycle, if you will. That includes all the components from your CI/CD, but also artifact registries and deployment tools, etc., etc. And the idea is that we to provide like a common language for all the tools to communicate what they're doing, so that you can use this information either to build something like an audit trail for your artifacts, but also to do things like visualize your workflow across different tools and help with interoperability, so that you have different tools in your organization, but you get consistent events from all of them. It makes it easier. And also having this common language enables to have things like event-driven workflows. And one scenario that I was chatting about with the Argo folks is that the image updater feature that they have. So basically, today Argo CD is a continuous delivery tool for GitOps, and they listen to a container registry and they look for updates on a specific container image. And if there is a new tag release, for instance, then they will make a PR in Git, and that will trigger a deployment. And so they're interested in having something like using a different type of workflow that is more event-driven, so that they would get notified if there is a new a new tag, for instance, for an image, and they could react to that directly. And so that's why I'm here. I'm reaching out to the Harbor community, I think, because I wanted to propose for Harbor to support CD events, so that within the cloud events format that already exists as an alternative, they could produce CD events as well that would bring this interoperability feature to Harbor. So I'm new to the community, so I hope I'm doing things right. I created an issue to get started and to provide some context. And yeah, here is some information that I've been talking about. There is this picture that gives you an idea of what we are trying to do with CD events. So I have all different tools producing CD events. You can get all this information in an evidence store and build nice things out of it. And you can also use these events to trigger your workflows, like I was saying. And I started a proposal. It's a HackND document for now, but I'd be happy to, if there is interest in this, I'd be happy to make this as a formal proposal following the Harbor community process. And in this proposal, for now, I put some context about city events, the motivation, as I was saying, to provide the interoperability across registry and tools. In terms of use cases, I've introduced the Argo CD use case for GitOps that I mentioned. There was a comment from Vadim about Flag CD, and so we started the conversation with Flag CD as well. But we are not that far as with Argo. So Argo is interested in implementing CD events. Possibly labeling artifact could be also a use case for this. And yeah, so in terms of design, so there is one event that CD event specification covers today that is meant for registry, artifact registry to produce, which is the artifact published event. And this is an event that is produced anytime there is a new version or a new artifact published into the registry. But we could add more on the CD event side, and I would be happy to drive that work. And I already opened an issue on CD event side to add things more like artifact pooled, artifact labeled. I've seen you have an artifact deleted event today. There is an artifact scan that we might add as well. And so this would be the first goal for this design. There is also a possibility to support consuming events. And then, so the idea there would be that if there is an event coming into Harbor CD, for instance, from a testing tool that executed a scan on the artifact or performed some extra testing, then that could be used by Harbor to label the artifact accordingly. That's so consuming event could be a bit more challenging. So there are a couple of options how things can be done. And my general recommendation would be to start with the producing side, and also there is a more clear use case there, and then possibly continue on the consuming event side of things. Yeah, so I didn't want to take too much time. So this is kind of the basic information I prepare for today, and I would open it for questions that you may have.
First of all, thank you for the interest and willing to work on this one. And second, I saw on the technical implementation, like on the very end, you need some input from the community. If you can formalize that thing, or what exactly you need, so we can address that to the maintenance team to give you input on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very new to Harbor in terms of, like, I've not contributed to Harbor code base before, so I'm new to the community and the processes and so forth. So it will be challenging for me to judge what is the best way to introduce CD events within Harbor. I could probably imagine that since there are some notification formats available today, CD events could be an alternative one. But yeah, so there are a lot of details and design discussions to be, well, not a lot, but a few to be discussed about, like how this would be configured, how it is exposed to users and so forth, right? So I don't know if there are, what kind of consideration needs to be taken. But yeah, so what are the next step from here? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, someone else wants to. Yeah, go ahead, Jan.
Hi. Yeah. First of all, thank you for the proposal. So can we could you help to open a new proposal in the Harbor community repository so that we can discuss more details based on that proposal? And I think and second, I can give you some more background regarding to the event integration. So by introducing the support of cloud events, we did some fundamental refactor on the Harbor code base, and after that, it's quite easy for users to introduce a new kind of format for events, like someone is working someone from community is working to introduce a Teams event into Harbor. You can refer to that PR to get more details, but basically it's not quite difficult for someone who not familiar with Harbor code base to introduce a new kind of format. I mean the event payload, and you can connect to Chen Yu to get more help, and he did a refactor on the code base. So yeah. So yeah.
So to sum up, if you can translate that thing to community repository proposal, so people can start adding ideas. It will be a bit more messy. I understand your initial idea to do a thing HackMD. It's a bit more clear when then you create the actual proposal. But then we are losing all the history of decisions in the proposal. I'm going to link you some PRs that were implemented. What Ian said with the recent changes and some new implementations, so can guide you how to navigate through the source code and how you can implement that thing.
Great. Sounds great. Thanks. Yeah, I started with an HackMD because I wasn't sure if it was okay to create a proposal right away. So I wanted to present it first, but yeah, I'm happy to create a PR and then we can discuss. In terms of proposals, I mean, for the producing versus consuming events, in my view, those would be maybe two different features. It makes sense to then create one proposal only for the producing side, and then we can discuss whether to want to have a different one for the consuming, or would you prefer a single one that is implemented over time?
The consuming means Harbor consumes the events from outside.
Yes.
So if Harbor receives the events from outside, what Harbor can do for next step? I mean receive the events for what action?
Yes, exactly. So that's not 100% clear to me. So there is one possible use case. We do have like test events, for instance. So if you wanted to delegate certain logic to external testing platforms, you could be notified that a test suit was completed or certain tests were executed, then add a label to an artifact as a reaction to that. But that's yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean, it's just an idea.
So I prefer that we can separate this into two proposals, because that the currently Harbor only produce event and do not consume even like you mentioned in the test scenario. So we only set up the events to the other like CI/CD system, so then they can compose their pipeline by consuming the events that's sent out by Harbor. But currently, Harbor does not receive any event from any outside system and do any action in the Harbor side. So I personally agree that we can separate these two category into two proposals. One is introduce CD events. The other one is Harbor to consume events from outside. That okay?
Yeah, perfect. Makes sense. And it could well be that, I mean, the community perspective is that we actually don't need to consume events at all. So we stop at the first proposal and that's it. I don't think it's common for container registries to consume events, to be honest. But I just wanted to provide both use cases for completeness and see what people thought about them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'll start then creating a proposal for the producing events, and we can maybe create an issue about consuming events to see if there is interest in this at all. And if there is, we can maybe discuss how it could look like. Okay.
So for the consuming events, you can either open an issue or discussion in the Harbor repository so that someone from community can add their thoughts or ideas. So then we can, based on their thought, to continue our discuss.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else want to comment on this one? All right. Thank you, Andrea. By the way, one last question. I saw you from IBM, the Big Blue. Is that city events thing part of the IBM, or that's a side project of yours that you're working on? And I mean, is it related to your work at IBM? I'm just trying to figure out who's who and how that thing works.
And it is also related to my work as IBM. So there is interest within IBM to having a standardized. I mean, we do offer like CD services on the cloud. So we have like this kind of pipeline runners based on Tecton, and we use Artifactory also at IBM. We use a different set of tools, and it makes sense. So we use cloud events today to collect events across many platforms. But yeah, so there is interest in having a common format there. We have interests also from other companies like, well, Fidelity. They actually, they're the first adopter. They produced the Jenkins plugin for city events. Mm-hmm. We have interest from Apple. Apple, they're contributing to city events because their DevOps team, they're interested in this kind of tools. Yeah, other companies involved like SAS, Ericsson. So they're looking to have this kind of standardization.
Mm-hmm. The other part of my question is, but you already answered that. If we go and implement that thing and accept it into Harbor, we are also looking for like a long-term engagement with this stuff and supporting it, because it's I believe it's not like a single shot kind of effort, but we need more like engagement in long term. So yeah, I got the answer from the rest of the thing that you just explained. So thank you.
Sure.
All right.
So thanks for having me again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining our community. All right, next one on the agenda, we have Florian from CyberWatch. Welcome again, a new community member. Can you introduce yourself and the whole story behind your joining us today?
Hi everyone, I'm happy to be here today with you. I'm Florian, the CTO of CyberWatch. CyberWatch is a cybersecurity software company founded in 2015. And Today, I show you the integration with the vulnerability, our vulnerability software with Arbor. It's pretty cool because on the past we just have one-side integration with pulling some images from Arbor, but today we can show our CV information in the Arbor interface, and I think it's very good. Let me show you some. Okay, on my screen. Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to sum up very quickly, CyberWatch is a vulnerability management software. Our competitor are Qualys, Rapid7, and Tenable, if you know them. We deploy our scanner on premise on the site of on the infrastructure of our customer. All our application or tools are deployed in Docker, so we like this technology very much. We are not specialized on container analysis because we come from the generic infrastructure management. So we manage desktop, server, network device, industrial device like PLC and something like that. And the container image is just one part of our scope. I don't do the commercial part. I prefer to show you directly the demonstration. So our tool is very easy to understand. We have an inventory with all your assets on your computer information system. We can get rapidly a list of information of something like VMware, hypervisor, or AWS integration to scan all your VM, but also a Docker registry like Arbor. If we target only the Docker image scan, it's very easy. You can add an image by name. You have a view to show all the vulnerabilities or technology installed in the Docker image. It's very good. It's very good for CISO or something like that. Some people in the company, but not for a DevOps team. It's better to have the CV information on a tool for the DevOps team. So Arbor is great for that. I just had we have implemented the 3 API routes to integrate with Arbor. If I add a new API key, demo. Okay. Okay. On the other side, we have a Arbor instance. You are more familiar with this. It's very easy to integrate. I like Arbor. It's very simple to to interact with him. Okay. CyberWatch. Okay. Just copy the credential. Okay. So I have had the interrogation services, you call them. So it's a CyberWatch software, the last version. And after that, it's pretty cool to just choose some images and scan them. I have cloned some registry 2 months ago. So the image is not up to date, so it's easy to find some CVs. I just run the scan. Okay, queuing. If I see you in the result in the CyberWatch software, okay, Docker images. You see that we have the 6 images added on the list here. We need to wait 30 seconds to add them, to scan all of them. Okay, and you can show the result in your Harbor instance. It's a Redis image. If you see this one, for example, on the end of the page, you have all the CV we found, all the security issue, and why we are the problem. So the current package version are not up to date. So it's a Debian-based image. You see that we miss one patch, and we can show you all the list of on the information of the CV. If you want more details, you can come back with your CyberWatch instance, and you have the detailed advisory of the CV. And on the back, you have also the list of your related assets, and you can see that you have the Harbor images we scan. And inside the vulnerabilities of CyberWatch, you have the same information as we found in Harbor. So in fact, for this image, we have 3 patch missing. They are not the last version of Redis, so it's a shame for for the Redis image, because we have 5 CD on the image we scan, and we have also 1 patch on the libSSL, so for TLS. Okay. I don't know if you have any question at this time.
I have a question. Thank you, Florian. What data are you using for the vulnerability scan? What is the data for your scans?
Okay. So in one side, we pull the image on our scanner, and we run some bash or shell script inside to extract all the list of technology inside the packet, the Docker packet, every Debian deb, or every software like Redis that are installed manually. On the other side, we crawl all information on the internet. If you see this CV in particular, we show you that we crawl information from the NIST and the NVD, and information come back from every distribution, Linux distribution like Red Hat, Debian, and something like that. We also, for other vendor like Microsoft, Oracle, and something like that. And we combine all the information to show you the exact CV you are in your image. You are on mute, I think so.
Hi, I have a question regarding to the CVSS3 score, and so you mentioned that you can combine this data into the CyberWatch, so then you do a mask based on the source, so then provide a CVSS3 score, or you just use the original data like NVD.
Yeah, we use the original data from the NVD, so it's the same score we found in the NVD information.
Okay. Okay.
We don't override score. We override score only when the NVD don't have the information and the vendor say that the score is this he says the score, because we don't want to be an intimate. We are just an intermediary to and don't want to be active to show to say the score, because it's difficult to categorize the NVD of the CVSS criticality of vulnerabilities. So we prefer to show the exact information from the NVD.
Okay. So you have implement adapter for CyberWatch based on the pluggable scanner spec defined by Harbor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So is it open source? I mean the adapter.
No, the adapter is native on the application, so it's not open source, and you can use the CyberWatch analyzer open source. It's a paid software. I'm sorry about that, but
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
I have one. In the terms of open source and free kind of spirit, do you offer some kind of free, like a open core kind of subscription, so people can leverage CyberWatch from Harbor, the same way as we do for Trevi, for example?
we have trial, but not it's trial or proof of concept for 3 or 3 months, something like that, but not we have not free tier subscription.
Sure. I'm just curious if someone asks, because sometimes people ask about these kind of integrations, for example, with Sneak and some others.
Yeah.
And yeah, for example, Sneak also doesn't have like the free integration to like the same way as Trevi is doing it. Just asking for the records, to be honest, and out of curiosity, no, nothing else.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I have another question. Did you find any issue on the scanner spec during the implementation on your adapter? Like I mean, something is not reasonable or not defined by the spec, like request or response, or
no, it's work fine.
yeah.
We have no issue to implement the adapter with your wiki. It's very easy.
Yep.
On Harbor work fine with to ingest data.
Yeah. So I'm saying this because that we want to do implementation or enhancement on this spec, and to provide a next manner release to introduce more capability for multiple scanner, like we can support SBOM or license scanning. Yeah, the things like that. So I would like to see if someone can give us some feedback, so then we can, based on this feedback, to make better design. Yeah. So if you find some problem, just let us know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I ask my developer team if, but I don't hear any issue on this part.
Thank you.
Thank you, Florian. Anyone else? Any questions about that?
Yeah, hello, it's Thomas. Just one question. Do you have some benchmark or comparison results with your solution against, I don't know, Tri-V, for example? Do you cover, how do you cover the CVE scan?
In fact, we don't have we don't make a comparison with Tri-V because it's not one of a competitor directly. I have made some comparison with SNCC because it's more customer challenges for us. But in fact, the result are pretty the same. The main difference is that we are more focused on CVs are a solution, so we don't for example, for Debian packages, we don't see any CVs that are not patchable. So it's one of our side effect because we don't want to lose time for our customer with unsolving problem. And in other side for scan we do with the CP from the NVD, like the Redis part in these images, the results are pretty the same, like SNCC. But for Tri-V that I say, I have tested this program 3 years ago, so I don't think it's a really good. But in the past, the main problem of this type of scanner is that you use only the CPE. And for example, if you see this CVE, for example, you have a minor patch for Debian, and you can, and if you use only data come from the NVD, you have just this part of in the data from the NVD. So you have a lot of false positive with this approach, because the distribution backport some fix on the package from Debian, for example, or Ubuntu do the same. So with our approach, we don't have a lot of false positives, so it's pretty good for our customer.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're running with the time, so thank you again, Florian. Happy to have you in any time if you need any help from the community. Next one on the list is, give me a second. It's from Lucas.
Yeah, right. It's me.
Yeah. Hi.
All right. So I will make it very quick. Introduce myself first. I'm Lucas. I'm working at TNG technology consultant. But I will not sell you anything today. Only one pull request, which is for free. I raised the pull request like a month ago because I started implementing some Go application against the Go Harbor, and I used Go client, and I found it very useful. I will share my screen real quick. So it's maybe easier for you to understand what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about this tool. It's very, very, very simple. It consists mainly of a makefile where you can, from the Swagger definition, create the Go SDK. And what I did is I bumped it to the latest version. And you see that there are many, many files removed. And this is because from what I've understood, this legacy and the other older Swagger JSON, Swagger YAML files, they don't exist anymore. So instead of assist version 2 and version 2 legacy, there's only version 2 left. And this is more or less everything I did in this pull request. right? I don't know how to continue. Vadim asked me to join the call here, so that's why I'm here. I can only ask for a review and tell you that I really appreciate your work and Harbor itself, and it's always a pleasure working with it. Thanks.
Thank you. Vadim, do you want to comment to this one as we had a mentee, or someone? Yeah.
Yeah, Vadim, go ahead.
Yeah, so I invited Lucas because I think it's would be a valuable discussion to see that we can provide a bit more love to the Go client library, to the Go client, especially updating, because the other background is that for the CLI client that Akshat is currently working on, he has also discovered a problem with the Go library or with the Go client, and specifically I think he mentioned it. It's about the return values, so that if there is an error, the function doesn't return the error nor the error code. So it's just, yeah. So he mentioned that there's also the issue there, and I think we could kind of see how we can improve the Go client library, because we are also using it internally, right? And so we need to find a way how we can improve it and still be compatible on the client side, on the consumer side.
Hi, Vadim. I record that we have a program on the Go client, or do we need to consolidate the effort to make one group to focus on the Go client implementation? Vadim?
So sorry, I didn't understand that. Can you repeat?
I mean, I record that we have a program. I mean, Menti program that to implement the Go client for Harbor. So,
no, the Go CLI.
Go CLI. Oh, okay.
So he's implementing Go CLI, but he's using the Go client for that.
Okay, got it.
Yanmang. So Harbor is using the Go client as well, right? It's not just exposing the Go client to our users. It's also because we're also using it, right? Or
the operator is using this.
The operator is using it.
Yes.
Okay.
So Cheng, please correct me if I misunderstand something.
Yeah, so you see, Lucas, we need to update. If we update the Go client here, right, we need to make sure that the clients who are using the Go client are also have the opportunity to update as well, right? So we need to kind of not synchronize it, but push it somehow downstream and telling them to use the new Go client library, so that they can update their code if they need to, if they want to. Yeah. So how should we progress with the PR?
Sorry, I missed this PR before. Yeah, because I didn't notice. Yeah. So yeah, we can start to review this PRs, and yeah. So it seems reasonable for me to ship another release to align with the upstream.
All right, thanks. So today in the morning, I updated to today's latest version, so we should be fine now.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll check that. Yeah.
All right. So thanks for having me. If you need anything else, you can reach me in the pull request.
Yeah, sure.
Will do.
Lucas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the effort. And last but not least, Stefan, go ahead and your Redis problem.
Yeah, I'm asking as a Harbor user, not as a contributor or developer, and I'm not sure if this is the right stage to ask this question. But I have opened an issue a couple of weeks ago, and just want to ask you if you can point me just in the right direction to go further with this issue. But if you can stop me if this is not the right stage to ask such specific questions to an open issue.
It's fine. We try to combine the community meeting plus office hours in one, so we can answer such questions as well.
Okay, so shall I share my screen to?
Yeah, but better if you share, you can navigate more accurately through the issue. So
just give me a sec. Do you see my screen?
Yep.
We do.
I can zoom in a little bit.
Yeah.
If this is better. So, so yeah, it was quite some time ago, and we still using in Harbor with Chart Museum. Hopefully not too long, but we are still using one with Chart Museum, and we have one project within our Harbor instance which cannot be accessed. You can either pull images, push images, you can delete it via portal or API. It's not usable, so to say. And we've got a screenshot here where we receive in 500 HTTP 500. It's described in the issue in more detail. But at the bottom of the issue was that there was one suggestion to delete manual some Redis cache entries. So the suggestion was, if we looking for the key chart in our Redis database and delete these entries, maybe it should work again. But so we are not really experienced with Redis and how it interacts with Harbor, and since we cannot reproduce this or replicate this in our test instance, we have to do this in production. So we are a little bit cautious, and we are asking, so if we are searching in our Redis database for the keyword chart, we're receiving these results. So if we are good to go to just delete them and without having big production problems, or is it safe to delete these entries, or do we have to be more cautious and find another way around it? Just a direction. Hope this makes sense what I said right now.
I'm thinking.
Is there any running job in Harbor? I think you can clean up all the Redis data and restart the Harbor instance.
Okay, so we are good to go to delete it and then restart our Harbor instance.
Yeah, if make sure there is no running job service, the task in the job service.
Yeah,
you can select it from the database. Yeah.
No, there's none. It's just for one project with having this problem in our Harbor instance, where we have currently over 80 projects running, and this is only one which cannot be accessed, deleted, rebuilt. Maybe this is a good context as well. So this is not an internal Redis deployed with Harbor Helm. This is an external Redis database from our cloud provider. So not easy to restart it.
I'm sorry. What's your Harbor version?
Currently, it's 2.6.4.
2.6.4. Is it possible that you can just remove keys from database 3 in Redis, because this is specific for chart museum, so you do not have to restart Harbor. You can just clean DB3 of Redis.
DB3, is this another key which I can looking for?
No, it's a database 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the
Database.
has multiple database.
Yes.
Each database has a number, and when you select the number 1, and you select the web-related cache.
Okay.
And then you select 3, then you got some cache for the chart or something.
Okay, so database 3 in Redis. Okay. Okay.
I pasted a link into the chat. So could you open that so they will see more details?
This one?
Yes, this one. You will see there are 4 or 5 database for Redis. It's like 184. Like 184.
184. 184.
Yes.
Here, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you will see there's the DB index, and you can clean the all keys for database 3. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And these maybe depend on your installation type. For compose, you can use this reference. But for chart museum, they are. But for hand chart, installation type may be different.
Yeah, so we are using the Harbor Helm chart in an HA setup. Yeah. But this is a good direction, so thank you for that. We will follow that, and we'll let you know in the issue if this was helpful and solved our problem. Thank you.
Yeah, you can try this. Yep. So do you have a plan to migrate the chart file into
yeah. So but we have a dependency as I described in the last meeting. Currently our teams receiving their Helm charts, classic Helm charts, upstream via our implementation of Artifact Hub in Harbor, right? So they're using their Bitnami and Kubernetes charts and so on. And for this iteration, which ends on July for our team, we are planning to deploy the OCI Helm chart proxy from Vadim in our production system. So we are testing right now. It seems very good. But to have this in production, we have to be careful on testing in QA. We are planning this rollout in production next month. And with that setting, we have the prerequisites to upgrade to 2.7 and then to 2.8 and deprecate chart and resume for all of our teams. This is our goal, yeah. But we cannot do this right now because a lot of teams using classical Helm charts, so to say, in their own projects and in a central project, and we need to support chart museum, I think, for at least 1 or 2 months or 3 months. Yeah. Once we have a good alternative with the Helm proxy, which seems quite promising, then we go, then we can upgrade to 2.8, which is our goal. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. And we have a tool to help you to migrate the existing charts. I pasted it in the chat. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. We will use it, and we will give this to in the hands of our internal teams.
Yep.
But for the upstream charts, because the teams should not download on their own from their own environments charts from every instance. So we have this a single proxy, which is our Harbor instance, and for that we need an alternative, and this is the Helm proxy. Yeah, and it's running in our test instance, and it's doing its job, but it's quite good.
Thank you.
Happy to hear.
Yes, so thank you.
Thank you. Hope that will fix your issue, Stefan. We're
you.
2 minutes after the hour. So one last thing. This Sunday, yes, this Sunday is the end time for the CFPs for KubeCon, both KubeCons, China, so Shanghai and Chicago. So if you're planning on applying for a talk, don't forget the end date. If you need my help to review or give you ideas on your talk, your abstract, please do contact me so we can work it out. Yes, Vadim. Okay.
No comment. I need to plan my weekend.
We can
accordingly.
submitting we can not submitting CFPs, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a great rest of the day or evening, and talk to you in 2 weeks. And I hope I won't forget what I've put it in the next agenda. So yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
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 Thank you.